Hi from Sarah and welcome back to my series dedicated to crow hook. So far I've shown you how to make crow hook using the Tunisian simple stitch and using the Tunisian knit stitch. Today I'm showing you how crow hook looks when using the Tunisian purl stitch. So as you know, Tunisian crow hook is totally reversible and it looks a lot like brioche knitting or brioche crochet because it produces some ribbing that is different according to the stitches I'm using from time to time. As you know, the Tunisian purl stitch does not need a specific multiple of stitches to begin, so I've started from a chain of 10 stitches, so let's begin. So here I am with my double pointed Tunisian crochet hook and my first yarn. I have gone ahead and chained 10 stitches, and then I started pulling up loops, taking them from the back bumps of the chain stitches, and that's the forward pass of the foundation row, the traditional foundation row in Tunisian crochet. Now let's switch to crow hook, and as you know, the return pass from the beginning onwards is made in this way. So we need to turn our hook with the work and then attach our secondary yarn, our second yarn here on this side, and make the return pass, the standard return pass, with the second yarn. So I attach it here and go through one loop only first, then I yarn over and go through two loops together, repeating the second movement until the end of the row and until I'm left with only one loop on the hook in the second yarn. And here I am. Now I will work the forward pass with the yarn I have already on the hook, so the second yarn. And I will start working in Tunisian purl stitch. So let's see how this turns out. So Tunisian purl stitch, you know already, I have a tutorial for this stitch, of course. It's a traditional Tunisian crochet stitch. So I bring the yarn to the front and I wrap it around my hook because it's more comfortable to work this way. And then keeping the yarn in place on the hook, I will go with the hook from right to left under the first vertical bar in yellow, so in the main color, or let's not call it main because in the first color, let's say. Then I bring the yarn to the back, yarn over, and pull through one loop, and that's my purl stitch. And then I proceed like this until the end of the forward pass, where I will make a neat closing stitch. So this is the second to last stitch. So I've worked throughout in Tunisian purl stitch, and here this is my last stitch where I will work my neat closing stitch, my end stitch that is done not in purl stitch, but as you know, by going with the hook both under the front vertical bar and the back bar of that last border stitch, like so. At first, especially in this the first row where I attached my second yarn, it is going to be a little bit more complicated, or let's say we need to be careful not to loosen the loops too much. Here you go. So now I have all loops, all of my 10 loops on the hook, and we need to remember that the return pass is done with the other yarn. So we need to turn our work and proceed with the return pass in the second color, that is to say the first color, I don't know what you want to call it, but the opposite color as the one we have used so far. Now this is the tail, and here I go. So let's tug a little at the borders if you want to keep them as neat as possible. And now Another thing we need to remember is the forward pass is always done with the yarn I find myself with on the hook. So with the yellow yarn again, and we will always work in purl stitch, but this time we will insert the hook under the vertical bars in the other color. Once again, I will work here at the left border. I will work a neat closing stitch. This time I will work into the secondary color, in the other color vertical bars, just like I did so far. Also for the neat closing stitch. Okay. And now, once again, the return pass is made in the other color, so I need to turn my work. Okay, and then I make the return pass in the other color. Now I tug a little and proceed working in purl stitch with the yarn I have on the hook. I can already see that the stitch is going to be beautiful. The purl stitch worked in crow hook. I will work some more rows and then I will be back to you to show you the result. Okay, so I'll be back in no time. So here I am back, and would you look at how lovely the Tunisian purl stitch worked in crow hook, how lovely it is. Once again, it creates a brioche design, a ribbing, but it's different than the other two stitches I've shown you, the simple stitch and the knit stitch, because the ribbing lines are wider apart and you have these vertical bars in between. So you see the secondary color emerging in a lovely way, especially in this variation, where I have the darker color emerging and the lighter color, the yellow one, as front color, while as I turn it, it's the other way around. And it's the same, of course, because this stitch is reversible, but I don't know, yes, it looks lovely, but I like it on the reverse side better. So what do you think? Do you like crow hook? Shall I continue showing you more stitches and more techniques using crow hook? Please let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching again and for subscribing. Please, if you want, go and take a look at my second channel. It's dedicated to Tunisian crochet so far. I've started it all over from the start because it's in Italian but with subtitles. And okay, that was it. Thank you again and see you next time. Bye-bye.